Check, check. Welcome in, guys. JT, Fran, good to have you guys in here. Apologies for the mix up last night, but glad we're here tonight. Hopefully, it's a good turnout. Yeah, good to hear, Fran. We're glad to have you. Um, I've been here 5 years. I consider this consider all these crazy people in here family to me. So hopefully, get some value out of it. Hopefully, it's a good journey for you. Definitely take it slow. Um, Advice from present day 1K to 5 years ago. Just go to lectures, paper trade if you're totally new. Find a mentor, send them their ideas because when you send someone your trade plan, it's you're less likely to do a stupid trade and reckless trading versus just kind of trading alone and losing really bad and kind of hiding behind that. So find a mentor. It could be someone in here or a green name analyst or whatever it is, but take it slow, friend. Because the worst thing you can do is get really confident and cocky and start taking some big losses and lose all your money in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. We don't want that. But definitely glad you're here. Give it 1 or 2 more minutes. I'll send out one more ping, guys, and I'll write down the requests. So far, we just got one from Scotty. So if you guys want something, I always start out with SPY and then go to your requests. So this night's for you guys. It's not about what I'm watching charting. I can certainly chart what I'm watching, but this is for you guys. So, um, yep.
Spy just did something weird.
Is it moving and gapping or what's it doing?
Yeah, this last candle.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Interesting. Um, we'll have to check. That could be news. We'll have to check, or someone can maybe check Twitter a little bit and see if anything's popping up. Um, didn't hold, but definitely that's a wick. That's crazy. Interesting. I'm sure Infinity on Pro Trade 4 is all on it. Let's see. I'll message him real quick and then we'll get started. All right, guys, one more server ping and we'll dive in. Looks like it's smaller class, maybe because it's, well, I guess we always do 5 p.m. on weekdays, but we'll see. It's all right. More time for questions. All right, y'all, welcome in. Is there anybody else new? I see a few regular names, but if you guys are new, let me know. We're definitely glad to have you in here, like I said. This Sunday night class, I know it's Mondays for you guys, so I see Comcast from Scotty, and look at, I keep wanting to say Schwab, that's probably not though, SCHW. Oh, I joined 2 days ago. Nice to have you. CSIQ. I usually just start out with one, so I'll pick one or the other. You let me know, and we can definitely circle back. Oh, and everybody's joining at 5. Okay, that's what it was. They couldn't join early, but yeah, I'll circle back around if we got time to do those other ones. But yeah, let's take a look, guys. So, welcome in, guys. My name is Starth1K, one of the team members here. I do the scans every Sunday night. Again, it's just a really just kind of a way to get you guys kind of get the big picture look. Of course, I wasn't here last week, so I missed all that fun on the way up, but now I'm here. So I'm also going to be building a game plan along with you guys this week because I did not trade this week. I kind of just got caught up on some charts and kind of just watched some stuff, helped some people in DMs. But uh, but yeah, so it looks like we pushed. I believe we made new all-time highs, or yeah, just barely made some new all-time highs. Looks like 691.66, and now a nice little retracement here. And so you guys have been here, you know how I like to chart on the 30-minute and the 1 hour. It just kind of gives us a nice intraday look on where the cluster of the movements are happening, where I think we might be going. We definitely can, if it's a new name that I haven't charted before, we definitely can chart out on the daily for sure. But I kind of want to do this intraday look in here, just kind of figure out where we're at, where we might be going. I lost my drawings. Where are my drawings at? There we go. One second, guys. Of course, I take a week off and everything's different here. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know where they went. Give me one second, guys. So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen and re-share 1 second. All my drawing tools are gone. There we go. Looks like I'm an idiot. I don't think I was sharing. Sorry about that. All right, operator error. Back to rescheduled program. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't even sharing. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So yeah, looks like last week. Sorry about my dog. Let me close that window. Man. All right. So yeah, looks like last week, guys, I missed all the fun. We pushed up here. I apologize for that. We pushed up here to new all-time highs, that 691.66, a nice little retracement. As I was saying, I like to hang out in the 30-minute and the 1 hour unless it's a new chart that you guys are having me look at. Because intraday, we can kind of see how I like to trade you guys. I like to find, let me get my drawings going here. So when I start out drawing, I like to try and find my swing highs, my swing lows, stuff like this, where I see the big dips in the market and the big move reaction. We have a swing high here. We come back up to that and kind of stall, and then we push back over it and keep making that move up. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for here is this little cluster in here. It's like, okay, where do we kind of stop out and chop out today? It totally makes sense to me. And then this big green zone here that was resistance. I will zoom out real quick for you guys here. This was our red line resistance. We couldn't break over it, failed, break over. And now what did it do today? We sold down right back to it, and it bounced nearly perfectly to the penny. And so this is why I like intraday charting, because you can see the pre-market after hours moves. You can see, what's going on intraday and after hours, and try and find those moves within the market. And so that's what I focus on, you guys. And so for me, how I would, if this was Sunday, I probably would have said something like, this is our top, this is our bottom here until it's not. And so now that we're moved into Monday, it's a little bit of a slower week, but my focus here is this big green shaded area. And again, if I zoom out to the 1 hour here, again, we can see how that level is big. That's the area of interest, and we're back at that now. So I am treating, if you guys want to take screenshots or write it down, I'll quit moving the chart here. The 686 is basically, this is my floor this week. No matter how many touches we hit it, I'm treating this as our bottom until it's not. I need a sell through and a retest. You guys know how I like to trade it. A breakdown retest for another leg down for me to say, okay, 686 is no longer our bottom. It is now our top. Every time we trickle into it, we push into it and it keeps rejecting, then that will be my top. But for me, I'm not looking for stuff down here like I always tell you guys every single week on any chart we look at. That's not realistic until we break a big zone, that is above it, until we break these two moving averages that are right here. So 686 is my bottom. So we'll see where we open tomorrow. We may kind of open around the 687. If we come back down into there, again, take your puts with confidence, but don't be late chasing down here and chasing puts down here right into a double bottom. And then we bounce again. You're like, man, why do we bounce so hard? Well, that double bottom there, this whole resistance zone is now green, is now support. I'm treating that as a support zone. And our top may or may not be obvious to me, but this is definitely my top range for the week. Can we go higher? Absolutely. It's a holiday week, a little bit lower volume, but that is my game plan this week. And anything in between here, this is just what we call a range. So you guys that don't know what a range is just multiple tops and bottoms that are set. This is kind of that box I'm playing in. If we break over it, that's fine. We'll ride that wave. We break under, let's ride that downside momentum. But again, 686, the 687 and 687.19, we can see the afternoon battle there. They bought that up here on this 1 hour candle, this big bottom side wick here. They bought that up, and that was kind of just that focus all midday. And then what they do, they broke it out, and kind of where did they stall out here? Look left, that morning candle is where they stalled out. So it's no accident, you guys. So definitely you can trade on the 5 and 15 minute, but you should be building your game plan on maybe a 30-minute, the 1 hour, or even the 4 hour, and just kind of build a game plan off of that. And so these are my levels that I have right here. Just again, the swing highs and lows in the market. If you're a scalper, again, or maybe it's not obvious, but if you're buying calls here off 686 and you're a scalper, this isn't your target number one. This would be like a final target way up here. You have so many other levels in between here from, this day, last 4 or 5 days. And so that's kind of what I look for, how I like to trade when I give you guys kind of targets like this tonight on SPY and other names. It's kind of based on a day trade perspective, something more than a zero DTE. So, SPY zero DTEs are available. Doesn't mean you have to take them. Take a Friday contract. If you bottom tick here and we start chopping down here, zero DTs are going to get smoked, theta decay. But if you buy a Friday contract, you can sit through that plus or minus 5% red, and then you get the move up and then you profit. But the people earn zero DTs, they can't hold that move for 3 hours. They're going to get the push up and they're still going to be at a loss when it pushes up to here potentially. So, any questions on SPY? I know it's kind of quick, kind of fast. Any questions? Keep it related to this. Let's see. So it could be a bounce to 686 to previous day high. Absolutely. We don't know what's going to happen, but I just kind of like to give you guys a game plan. Is we set this low here. It wasn't an accident where it bounced to me in my eyes, and so Fran, if we come back here tomorrow or Wednesday and then Thursday we're closed or Friday, it's just a heads up for you guys of, you may be trading on your phone and you may be seeing, down candles or red candles. I know mine are white, but you guys might get excited and get some puts. And it's like, well, wait, why did it reverse so hard? This is just what we need to focus on. Is this is and should be treated as a bottom this week. Again, we could slice through it the first 3 minutes of the day tomorrow. I don't know. Or we could hold this for multiple days. We just don't know. We play the chart, we play what it gives us, and we look for the best risk reward. And as of now, that is calls down here if we get that move. So again, if we kind of open around here, we break the 687. Yeah, look for a possible touchdown here, but look at all these wicks on the 1 hour where it bounced, kind of right under that 686. We'd have to go on a smaller time frame. Don't take puts at 287 and go, hey, I'm not selling to 286. We may or may not hit it. We just don't know. We play the chart, but I'm just doing the best I can for you guys to see what we have in front of us. Why the 1 hour? Not a silly question. It's just honestly, I just wanted to start the zoomed out look because I wasn't here last week. We could easily look at the 30-minute chart, Luis. That's not a dumb question at all. 30-minute kind of gives us the same information. We got that bounce here. We got kind of that consolidation battle that I say here, and then afternoon, buyers were strong or sellers give up, whatever you want to label it as. We got that nice push up, but I just want to start on a little bit larger time frame. I wasn't here last week to kind of show people, where we're at, where we might be going, so to speak, on that. So, any questions on SPY? Unmute your mic or put it in the chat. If not, we'll move on the request. So far, I think I only have 2 or 3. Usually that's when a bunch roll in. So Scotty's first. Comcast. Scotty, feel free to unmute if you want. I don't know the abbreviation for this one. If I keep typing, it'll tell me. Is it CMCSA? I believe. Let me know if not. Feel free to unmute, brother. JTS here, IWM. We'll get on that. I think you're 3rd or 4th up. Let's see. Scotty says that's on Comcast on it. 3 to 6 month calls. All right. Let's zoom out. I don't know if I've ever charted this one. Let's see if we've got some lines. We do not have lines. So here's how I chart. If you guys are new to charting or how I start, something totally new, I start the weekly because I want to see where do we bounce? Does it make sense? And I just slap a couple lines on the weekly just to kind of get us going where we're going. I'm not going to grab this very, very low wick. I'm going to grab this cluster here because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 weeks that bounce the same spot. I want to see, is that important? I'm sure it is. I'm going to grab this top side wick here. Again, I'm on the weekly. I know it's zoomed out pretty far, but hang with me here. And then I'm going to expand on this, you guys. I'm going to zoom out to, let's just say 10 years. I want to see if this is an all-time low or if this bounced somewhere that's important. And we'll see how good my charting is or if it's totally bad. But that's kind of quick charting. How I'm going to do this again. I start in the weekly and look at this here. That'd be 3 weeks ago now. This 2642. We got to zoom back a long time, but I always say never delete lines on your chart. Look at where it bounced. All this zone here, bounce, bounce, bounce. It's the weekly chart, and look at that top range. Look where it's kind of stopping. Okay, I am all the way back to 2014, so basically 11, almost 12 years ago. It is still holding true these levels here. So again, never delete your lines, you guys. When you chart them out, I'm not saying stuff will come back to an all-time low, but stuff usually always does retrace. So Scotty, we got a couple levels here. Let's go down to like the 1 hour and the 4 hour stuff like that. Start looking on that. So 30.50 is our top, Scotty. For me, how I trade, we're close to that. So we either find a nice dip buy or wait for that 30.50 break and retest, because we've seen here this zone here was from November, and look, we're stalling out first attempt here. So we don't want to chase calls. This may have a nice green day. We don't want to buy the top like somebody did here not too long ago. So a zoomed in look here. Again, charting is basically the same on all time frames. If your charting is good, it's going to line up. The hourly level here a few Tuesdays ago, that bounce makes sense. So things I like here, Scotty. The daily 9, this purple stair-stepped line. If we go the daily time frame, it is right here. So what is it doing? Support bounce, support bounce, support, support, reclaim, sold under, but now a nice reclaim on that. So focus number one for you should be keep an eye on that daily chart there. Does it hold that daily 9 moving average? Is basically 29.76 zone here. So if I were to draw a line here just to get some intraday levels here, that's basically the daily 9 moving average. And it makes sense here that kind of where stopping and bouncing. I'll zoom way in here for you guys that are on your phone. So it's a nice big chart for you. That's my focus here, should be the focus. So Scott, if anyone watching this that may want to trade this name, if you guys can catch a dip buy here, whether it's for a day trade or long swings, this is the spot. It's a nice proven support level. We can see, resistance, resistance, smacked it down. And what did it do today? Buy back up over it. So resistance is now flipped support. If we get a trickle down into here or sell down into here and they bounce this again, that is your confidence. That is your entry point to buy the call bounce. We don't buy puts at support, guys. We buy calls at support. You short resistance up here, stuff like this. Resistance, resistance, all this stuff up here. So any call bounce here, Scotty, anybody watching this? Very, very nice entry here. Risk reward, it kind of just depends on your expiration. If you have short-term expiration, anywhere a sell through this little kind of this cluster, this consolidation zone in here would be my stop out. If you want, 3 to 6 month contract, something like that, then something down here under this kind of this cluster here, because we got this nice downtrend, downtrend, downtrend reversal. And so if we chop down into here and we sell through that, we sell through this, what are we doing? We're selling through that recent low. That is a very short-term bearish signal. Doesn't matter how much time you have. If you buy here and they're February, March, April, May contracts, you're breaking this consolidation here, you're breaking this new low down here, hypothetically, that's a pretty big breakdown of this recent, structure of a downtrend consolidation, a breakout failing. And now we come back into this low here. I don't want to be holding calls down here unless it's a very, very small position. Yeah, it's only like a 65-cent move down, but you got to start thinking, hey, I only got, 4 weeks on this contract. We just broke this upper range here. If you're not buying puts to hedge it down in here, it's like you better be in a small position to buy this dip potentially back into here. Does that kind of make sense, Scott? Is that kind of what you're looking for? Feel free to mute if you want or just put it in the chat. But that's what I look for. If you miss your move, you kind of got to start looking for, these little tops here. So here's a little top, kind of a top range here. If we don't get this dip, you kind of got to get this bounce here and try and play these tops here for a continuation move to the upside, and then kind of use this as kind of not really no man's land, but just your spot to watch. Okay, do we come back into here and bounce it, or do we move up? But decent chart, man. I'm glad it's not all-time highs or all-time lows, stuff like that. Very, very tradable chart. Hopefully options liquidity is nice for you. If you need help with that, just let me know. Just remember, you want to see some volume on the day in the contracts, and most importantly, some open interest. You don't want to be the first one buying that contract, because if nobody else buys it, you literally cannot sell it. Even if you get the move that you want, if there's one volume on the contract, one open interest, and that's your lonely contract, you're screwed. So definitely do not want that. All right, next up, SCHW. Schwab, I thought it wasn't sure. Let me zoom out. I might have a few lines on this one. Let's go to daily. I thought I had this charted out. Maybe I do not. Are you in this one? Feel free to unmute or just type in the chat. You're not in it. Just kind of helps me out. I believe this might be new all-time high. If not, great. If it is, we need to be patient. But what I would do here, a little bit different charting is, let me see here. So I'm looking at this top side kind of cluster here on the weekly. It's a red zone, but let's treat it as support. Let's treat it as green. But that's my focus here. If you want to be bullish on this trade, let's see, did not mention if you would be bullish or bearish, so I'll kind of give you both scenarios here. So here's the weekly big picture look. It's all-time highs. Don't love that. Just how I trade. I just don't like chasing highs and new lows because, hey, it could keep going if you're trying to short it, or if you're trying to catch lows and you're trying to catch the bounce, that could be bad too. So this is what I'd focus on here is this zone here. If they back test this zone, it is all-time highs. For me to want to short this, I would need a breakdown of recent price action. So what is recent price action? Right here. So we kind of, this will be a bullish and bearish scenario. So if you want to get bearish on this name, again, you didn't mention it, but just let me know. So we kind of got this push up right here, consolidation, sell back down. Where we bounced? We bounced right where that candle ended. It's no accident. We pushed up, we stalled out this first push. Where did we sell down to? Where did we bounce? Again, it's no accident where we're bouncing. We pushed up, we kind of fail up here at this top range. Again, no accident. We dip down, so resistance here is now short-term support. We push up in the after hours, in the pre-market, we come back down into it. So we kind of got a little bit of a top here where we keep kind of failing. And so for me, you can play this bounce here off this 101.50, but I'm not overly confident I'm going to get a breakout anywhere up here, new all-time highs, because I see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, really a new high that holds. I don't love this for the call side. Can it go more? I can be wrong. Absolutely. But for me, this right in here is kind of no man's land, just because unless you're a really good scalper or day trader, because it can bounce really anytime, anywhere in this 50-cent range. But for me, a break under 101 is a very nice short opportunity. So clearing my chart here, because what are we doing here? If we're playing a break of 101, what are we saying? 1, 2, 3 days, this low is now not holding. So we sell down under, let's just say hypothetically, we open here pre-market, we sell down quick under 101 tomorrow, maybe we sell down 50 cents or 25 cents, we retest it, and now we kind of start setting a double top here that is rejecting. Well, what's it rejecting? It's rejecting this previous support zone, which is now resistance. So that's how you catch your top on some puts, sell down, make your money. Do we come way down here? I don't know. I would definitely not look for a target here on a single day. Start looking for these little clusters of candles where we push up, consolidate. Going to be a lot of volume here. So could be target 1 here. Nice little cluster here. Could be target 2. Again, if you're on short expirations, you might want to be trimming before that. This is a 1-hour chart. But, 2 3 weeks of time, very, very nice target. We come back down in this big zone here we talked about. This could be target 3 on some, 2 or 3 month swings with time. So you enter at 101, you come down here, $4 move. That's going to pay you very, very nice. Again, we can go higher, but I just don't love this trade until we really break over this 102 and hold. Again, breakout, retest to 102, that's fine. Get on the call side with that. But I don't love it right now, just new all-time highs, and it's kind of stalling out, which tells me might need a little bit of a breather. That's all right. Right, JT, yep, you're in here. Let's look IWM, brother. Are you in this one or just kind of want some perspective on some recent moves? Ooh, big spot there, big spot here.
Just insight on some recent moves. Just trying to confirm some things.
Yeah, a little perspective. So I'm looking, we got that big, if you guys don't know my charting, I just kind of it makes trading I try and make trading as stupid and simple as I can. And so thicker lines for me mean a bigger zone. So if I were to go the daily here and we look at this thick green line, this thickest one here on top, and I were to go the daily, it's probably a lot of consolidation zone, a lot of bounces, a lot of activity. And so that's kind of what I do to make charting just super, super simple and easy for me. And it looks like we pushed up to here. If we were under it, this would have been, a red line of resistance, whatever you want to do. Let me get that back red because it's now overhead. But yeah, JT, it looks like we pushed up. We had a nice push last week, and now what we're doing here, let's see, we're in the 1 hour. It's moving super, super nice. I mean, you cannot complain with that. We're pushing into here, and it's acting, like I said, exactly as it should. 1 second here, just kind of building the trade plan for you. And we want this red. So we pushed up here. We pushed up into a nice kind of resistance supply area. It pushed it. It ultimately only really held 1 day. We come down, and now we're kind of coming back into the zone here, testing some recent levels here. So we're kind of testing here. What was this, Tuesday? And again, failing to break out over. Thursday was Christmas, Friday, failing to break over. And what do? We're just kind of testing some recent levels here. And so to me, it's moving exactly as it should. And I see one easy, glaring trade plan here. And it's this line here. I'm going to color it red just so you guys can kind of visualize at least how I trade. Again, I don't take calls into resistance. Maybe you do, maybe you get lucky, but that is not my jam. So this red line here, JT, is kind of what I would be focusing on here. Clear this real quick. Because we can see we kind of got almost there, kind of bounced it. And what we do, we open there on Friday. Today, we opened here today, and we immediately sold through that support. So that tells me either we got some really aggressive sellers or just, buyers are just not really trying, low volume week, whatever it is. And so we say, okay, does that move make sense here? Yeah, this zone here. And what are we going to do? We're going to trickle over previous bounce zone, previous sell zone. When it fails to break over, sell zone doesn't break over, sell down doesn't break over. Nice bounce when it does. So that's my focus this week, man, is this 250.28, kind of this would be today's open, Monday's open. So if we push up to this, and I think you're a day trader, we start filling that, that's a good put entry spot. You're not just, shorting. I tell people, don't just get inputs because you think it's up too much. That's a very, very good put entry, because what do? Or at least how I train, how I teach, we break over that, stop out of your calls, because what's going to happen when we break and retest that? We're probably going to bounce. We're probably going to bounce. We're probably going to bounce. Get in your calls, take your small loss on puts. As for now, this is invalid underneath here, but we start rejecting that. That's, super, super good risk reward. You could play your stop out, a break over this wick here. So, you enter here and you're like, okay, I'll see, 15, 20% red, but this downside anywhere down in here is your target zone for sure, brother. Option 2, a little bit trickier, because so if we kind of open where we closed, we got this little consolidation zone here. So I would lean slightly bullish, meaning we want to break over this recent kind of this smackdown from today, assuming we take this tomorrow. I don't love puts down here because we see this basically indecision zone here down to 249.50. If you're a scalper, sure, we'll go the 5-minute. Clear as day. We know our tops are kind of here, our bottoms are here. And so you really got to be a true, day trader, scalper mindset going, hey, I'm shorting up here every single candle, meaning puts, and I'm long down here with calls every single time. And you got to have, a good mental strength for that. You can't be buying in the middle here, not saying JT, but just anybody. You can't be buying in the middle here and just being super bearish, go, hey, it bounced 3 times. No, I'm not going to sell my puts here. They're up 50%. It's not good enough. And now I'm back break even. That's just bad trading. So just be mindful of this range here. Again, on the 5-minute, it shows it. On the 30, clear as day. And so for me, if you're not a good scalper, just people looking at this, I would wait for a break of previous day low. That's kind of my bread and butter trading. Previous day high, low, pre-market high, low. I love that for trades. And so if we open here, I would just be patient, kind of call this a no zone. If you're not a good trader or scalper, you don't want that. Get a break below. That's saying, hey, we broke previous day low. Buyers are not ready. Buyers are not strong, whatever it is. Take your puts down on this 248.79. Does that kind of help you? I know I kind of rambled a lot, man.
No, that helps out.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm below my usual range. I had a range between 250, 90, and 250, 115. Uh, if you go back and look like a couple of weeks ago, it was giving me some good trades. And
just
so,
some free money back. What'd you have? You had a 250.9 ish.
yeah.
Yep, I can agree with that. Yeah, because yeah, you look at man, all that. Yeah, if you're short up here, yeah, 250. 250.9, basically a 251. When it fails very, very nice. And then kind of what was your bottom range, you said?
Uh, the bottom range is 250, 90, and the top range was 250, 115.
Oh, nice, nice, 251.15. So
So
yeah,
once,
that little, okay, I misheard you. Yeah, so that little pocket there. So yeah, that red line here kind of got the Christmas tree going here, the theme. But um, that red line is that focus for me. What would be tomorrow? If we get any push up, pre-market or early in the day, and that fails, like to me, I'm going to sniff that out on a failed breakout because it just tells me when those breakouts fail over this dashed red line. Obviously, when it holds, it pushes nice. If we hold that, yeah, we'll get bullish on the day. But when I see these downside kill candles, and it just did it today, if I see that that kind of that 250.28 failing, I'm slightly bearish on the day. Doesn't mean I'm looking for stuff way down here. It's just hey, we're day traders. We can look at swings, but that's kind of what I like. But this is a nice name, you guys. There's a few new people in here. If the SPXs, the QQQ, the spies are too fast for you, this moves a little bit slower. Talk to JT. He plays this a lot. I think his Discord name is the same as his Zoom name in here. So
yeah.
he's got very, very good levels on here. So talk to him about it. He trades this a lot. And that's what we need to do, you guys. We try and teach is find something that works. Who cares if Tesla might be more popular than this? If you don't like or not good at Tesla, find something you like. And if you make money on it, that's all that matters. And that's what he does. He trades this very well. And so you can see how it respects levels, like we all want stuff to make new all-time highs if stuff's in the Roth IRA, but if we're day traders, this is a blessing when we know clear and defined tops and bottoms, tops and bottoms. This is a blessing of a chart right here. This is what we're looking for. But nice request, man.
Yeah, and I learned that from you, man.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
IWM and AT&T are my bread and butter. I say
There
that a
we
lot.
go, man. Teamwork, man. Teamwork. Uh Roro, are you in here? You sent a request and you left. Maybe I had to leave. That's all right. We're gonna skip you for now. Username in TLT. That's is that bond market stuff. Let me see. I'm not good with this. And to prove it, I had to message River. Let me see if I can find it. We can definitely chart TLT, but I want to see what he said. This takes more than a couple minutes. Because it's not a hedge, but you need to find a way to play this. I don't want to give you guys bad advice. Give me like 60 more seconds. Let me do a search. All right. So I'm not going to show you our DMs. I'm just going to say, I literally said it. I said, I'm kind of dumb on this topic. People request me sometimes, but how do we chart or trade TLT? I don't understand bonds. This is a couple weeks ago. He said, to be honest, let's see. He says a strong 10-year means a weak TLT, and we have a strong 10-year. TLT is not something you trade on technical. So take that for what it is, but that's what he said. Let me see if I can get a screenshot here. Hope River doesn't mind, but that's what he said for me. Again, username in. I don't want to just kind of blow you off. If you have another request, I'll definitely do it. But I trust River. River's a smart guy. As of now, or at least he posted this a couple weeks ago. He says we have a strong 10-year. TLT is not something you trade on technicals, but for what it's worth, I'll kind of give you some levels here. But like I said, if you want to put something else in the chat, we can definitely chart it. Just how much are you down? I guess we can at least do that and look at that purely from a chart perspective. Where did you enter? Let me know if you're red or green, and feel free to unmute. But like I said, I don't want to give you guys bad advice. Same things with gold and silver. I try and do my best, but I'm a very bare bones trader. I don't trade that stuff. So Let me know in the chat. I see you're active, which is good. So let me know if you're red or green on it, maybe what day you entered, and I'll help you best I can. But yeah, Rivers smart. He's kind of my mentor, even though I'm a green name. You still got to have mentors. February call for 2026. But definitely, I don't see it typing in here. Maybe you still are, but I'll at least from a chart perspective here, this break of 88. Again, purely it's based on technicals, which shouldn't be doing this. But this 88 zone here, we can see rejection day after day, day after day. Down here, 87.66 is clear bottoms or a new bottom that is holding. So that's a very nice level to watch. And then against moving averages, daily 200 is right here overhead. Daily 9 is now underneath us, or excuse me, daily 20, daily 9 is underneath us as well. So purely from a chart perspective, I know I keep contradicting myself. That's what you want to watch for is, we have all this zone here. But again, like River said, I think watch the 10-year on it to get that move that you might want. Or if it might be an analyst play, I believe that was Shark, or he was in that. Just ask him an update on his thesis, what he's looking for, what he needs to happen on that trade. Again, not trying to shrug you off here, but I don't want to start charting something that should not be charted. But I see a couple more requests in here. We got hymns. Let's see, Luis, you're still in here. And then is it Cryo? Hoodcoin. Hoodcoin in Norwegian. Let me know. Oh, yep, just look at Hood. I can do that. So I got hymns first. Just writing these down as I go. Hood. I'll go as quick as I can, guys. KP, we got Netflix. All right. Cool. All right. Don't want to skip it. All right. Looking at shares based on weekly. All right. Let's take a look, brother. Ooh. Big support, big thick line. You guys know how I roll. Support. Oh, resistance. Never delete your lines, guys. All right. Let's slap a line here, brother, around 34. Let's head to the weekly. Let's see where we're at. What's going on the weekly? Oh, yeah. Good eye, man. Good eye. You said let's see, adding shares. Yeah. Do you, is this just a start position? You don't have to say how many shares, but if you're comfortable maybe saying what average you got, that's fine too. But yeah, definitely anyone looking, anybody looking at this, you guys, like you want to be a share buy, Hims and Hers is the company. I know MMA, our team lead in here on this Discord, he was in this. So definitely you don't want to be tops kind of consolidation, bottom. You don't want to be short here, that's for sure. Can it go more? Yeah, but let's break below that before we get mega bearish on that. Luis has a good eye here. He's looking to add some shares. So definitely here at 34 for sure. How much pain is that to another big support level down just for 20% move? Pretty much don't really like to take more than a 10% is kind of my cut. But all right, so you're scaling in. Nothing can't hate that for sure. This is the spot, brother. I don't know your average on those couple you got now, but good eye on this. Like I said, this is the spot to do it. When you see a hold 1, 2, 3, I know it's not 4 weeks in a row, but 4 weekly candles are holding here. And again, we zoom in, smaller time frame will make sense as well. They're trying to sell it under, and where are they buying it back? Right at 34. So this is a very nice name to day trade. Break of a trend line tomorrow. Maybe we break out over this kind of 34.2. Maybe it's a fake out. I don't know, but I'm not bearish at 34. I'll tell you that. I'll buy that call bounce. I'm not going to say every time because we see this tight consolidation. Maybe get lucky. Maybe it's not worth your time and there's better places to put money. But that's the spot you want to buy the dip. Some leaps, some long swings for sure. Definitely. And then if it's short dated, you just use previous 2 days price action for a stop out zone. If it's something that expires in 2 days, you probably want to stop out under these wicks. If it's something that expires maybe in February, set an alert down here for this 33.5 and say, okay, we kind of dip down below it on red, but they keep buying it back up now and break even. That's probably a good hold to keep holding down there. So good spot though, man. Good spot here. If you're in 44, this is the spot to do it. Don't get over leveraged, and I'll tell you and anybody this. So if you want to have $10,000 or 500,000, not 500,000, $500 in this position, you have to know that going in. So if your total buy-in price was $500 and you got two shares at 44, start scaling in. But if your total buy-in was like $200 and you already have two shares at 44, well, this is probably gonna be your last buy-in. You cannot. I'm telling anybody this, not just Luis. You cannot just keep adding to a potentially red trade just because pretty soon you're gonna have your whole portfolio tied up in it, and people are making money elsewhere, and you have all this money tied up on this because you've seen something on Twitter and you think it needs to go up more. Doesn't matter. Market does not care about you. So make sure you know your total position dollar size amount and just scale in. But nice request. 1 second here. Gotta send text message real quick. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Kryl, hopefully I'm not saying your name incorrectly. I apologize if I am. If you're still in here, yep. Take a look at Hood. Are you in this trade or looking to be in? Want some help with levels? Feel free to unmute your mic or just type in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with. Let me know, because I'm seeing a nice little bounce zone here. Nice rounding bottoms every time we kind of come in here. So where does it bounce in? And why? So I'm just trying to find the most touches here, what makes sense. I'm gonna draw a bit of a range here instead of a line here. So January 16th, 125 call. Are you red or green on it? You don't have to say how many contracts, but let me know. If you're green, got in today, red, okay. What did you enter? If you don't mind telling me that, we can kind of say, hey, you should be stopping out here, or you're a little bit red, you're fine. Today, cool, love it. Appreciate the honesty. So let me get this going. We're just gonna extend this out a bit, and because I want to see where we're kind of bouncing, if it makes sense. Top left, all right, cool. So, and color this green real quick, just so you can kind of visualize what we're doing here. Let's zoom out. Let's hit that 4-hour chart, something different, kind of see where, yeah, kind of makes sense to me here. So 1 second. So you see here, just to look back in time, we buy back over this, little bit of a battle here. They fail to reclaim it, so they sell down, and then they reject it, and then they reject on this candle, then they buy it up, sell down, back and forth, back and forth. Basically, it's a battle, just support resistance, ranges, that's all it is. You know, we push up here, we come back, what are we doing? We're bouncing this zone here. It is no accident. This level, this battle here. Next day, sell through it. Next day, sell through it. Buy back over. Again, you get the point. Back and forth, back and forth. The battle here at kind of this. I'll zoom in for you 1 second. Let's go down to like a 1-hour chart here. So again, clear this. We kind of sold on this zone here. So you have January 16th, not a ton of time. You know, January is literally like 3 or 4 days. You know, January 16th, not a lot of time. Basically, what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So for me, you entered here today. For me, I like low risk, high reward setups. Knowing this red zone here, I see this move here. I see this move here. I see this bounce here. I see the battle here, and we close over it. If we close under that, if we close under today's lows, that's a cut for me. Doesn't matter. You know, again, like I said, it's not a leap that's expired in 2027. To me, that's a breakdown of a big level here, a recent level, and we zoom down to 4-hour. We've seen months ago that battle here over and over and over. On here, we're probably heading down here. And for me, I just don't like holding trades 60, 70% red when I could cut maybe, and I'm just throwing out a number here, 30, 35% red, depending on where you entered. Cut that trade, take your puts, and maybe you're breaking even on the day based on that trade. You don't worry about those calls. Now you're looking, okay, that setup is invalid. I sold, fine. I made money on puts, don't care. Back to break even, maybe a little bit green. Now we come back into these support zones here, look to buy the dip again. But if this breaks down here, for me, anything short dated, 4 weeks or less, I'm not one to hold that, because that's basically here to here. That's a $3 move against you. We don't want that. Play the chart. We're day traders, guys. We're not, this isn't shares in our Roth IRA where we can hold through a $3 move for a couple days, and a couple days later it's back up. We don't want that. If we sell through here, then we have short dated calls. You get back up to your entry point, I guarantee you're not at break, and you're still. So what you need tomorrow is, we see all this action here. You need to reclaim, basically, best case scenario, a push pre-market, retest the 118 and go. Doesn't always work that easy, but that's what you want. And so hypothetically, let me hear, you're in calls. We want everyone money and profit. We hold this, we break, hold this 118. What do we have overhead? Where is this price action on this dashed line? What is my dashed line, you guys? Daily 9 moving average. It's going to open somewhere around here. We push up and we start failing here, and you're in profit and you're not selling. You're either inexperienced, which is okay if you're a new trader, or if you're greedy and the daily 9's here and you want it to go and you don't trim, that's just bad trading, because we could very well smack it right back down. But we push up here, definitely trim here at the daily 9 moving average, and then a big thick line. You guys know how I roll here, means it's more important level. Look at all this price action. Look at all this price action. Look at this just from 2 trading days ago. We sell under. Let me clear this. We sell under. We push up. We fail breakout. What do? We sell back down. What do you think happens when we get up here? You think there's some sell orders parked there? If buyers are weak or passive or not super aggressive, they're probably going to smack it down first attempt. I highly doubt on a first touch here that we just explode through that. Maybe we chop over it, under it, and then break out. That's fine. Ride that breakout with trailing stops, but don't hold a full position here. Entering here, you admitted you're red. That's awesome that you admit that. And we push up and you're greedy because you want to, regain past weeks or months losses. Play the chart, but you need this break over 118. I hope you get it. Anybody watching this setup tomorrow or this week or next week, any break and hold of 118 is a very, very good call entry. Again, break around that 117 and some change, or 116 some change. A little bit bearish bias. We could bounce this for sure, but I don't like that break of this zone here where they bought it back recently. Do not like that. Do not like that. How good does it work intraday? I mean, it works. Yeah, it works like the 20 and the 9 anything. Really, guys, it's whatever you want. For me, I could add the 50 on here, but I don't. This is, I try and keep it simple. Volume splits. I think that's from one of our algo guys here, Infinity. Shout out to him. Daily 9 moving average, but it's on the multi-time frame. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, it's the daily 9, the hourly 20. Yep. Shout out to River. That's my yellow. Daily 20. Again, you could add the 50 if you want. The EMA 9 and the daily 200, which is our yellow. Haven't talked about that much. I don't know where my yellow line is on here, down here hanging out. So yeah, it works great. Thinkorswim is awesome because, like I said, if I go the daily, what do we say? So we look here, 119.15 intraday. We go the daily. Where's that? Right here, 119.15. You can't see it. It's clustered right in here, consolidated, smashed, but it's right there. But Thinkorswim is awesome because I know where my daily 9 moving averages are on a small time frame. Yeah, I check the daily, see where we're at, where the heck we're at each day when I enter a trade. But intraday, if we push up here, I damn well want to know where that's out overhead or below us. Same thing I hinted to somebody on trade floor today. Said, hey, we're bouncing the daily 20 moving average on QQQ. And lo and behold, we never close. We had a candle close on the 15-minute, but we regained it. Always know where your moving averages are at all times. Let's see. All right, getting caught up in the chat. Let's see. Sorry. Hims Hood, Netflix from KP. You're still on here? Yep. All right. And then always be winning. You're up. Thank you for sticking around. I'll try and get to as quick as I can. LW. All right. What do we got on Netflix? Amazon Weekly Call. Netflix from Shark, 96 call at 200. All right, let's check. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask. KP, do you have a preference? Put it in the chat or unmute your mic. Let me know which, if you have a preference on one. Otherwise, I'll hit Netflix. Cool, let's do it. Ooh, zoomed in look. There's a trend line somewhere. There's a daily 9 somewhere, and there's a support line. So I don't trade this name a whole lot. Let's just hit the daily. Oh, yeah. I see, assuming Shark entered somewhere down here. That's the spot to do it. We look left. Look at that battle there. We're coming back to this level from, this is December a year ago, 12 months ago. Push up kind of battle. Obviously, $10 swing here, but the big breakout from earnings, and it just pushed and pushed and pushed. And now we're coming back to it. So I'm on the daily chart here. Obviously, we had some candle closes under, but we know where our battle is. Oh man, I usually don't take analyst trade just because, no rhyme or reason, but I like this a lot. So are you guys green on this or red, break even a little bit red? Let me know. This is a spot though. You guys that are not in, I can back up Shark on his thesis on this for sure. Got a nice trend line here. So kind of just play how I'd play this out. Bouncing, support, support. When it's under it, resistance, it's no accident. Resistance, no accident, broke over, didn't hold, no accident. But this focus here, 93.57. That's the battle. That's the spot to watch. Obviously, we're getting some sells under and they buy it back each time. But this 93.57 keeps standing out to me. Obviously, one could argue probably a nice range here. Let's see. That's kind of what I'd be focusing on. I know it's red just for speed of class. Let's pretend that's green. Sorry, I always lose my spot on the chat here. So January 16th, not a ton of time. 96 call. So yeah, he's trying to get this breakout. Definitely want to get that for you guys. But we're seeing. So we got a trend line underneath this rejection. If I were to move this kind of quickly just for speed of class here, we kind of got this going now. So obviously we got some wicks poking over, but we're just getting, here's a high and a lower high and a lower high and a lower high and a hold, and this recent low, we're breaking out and just this lower high continues. So really guys, I mean, I'm not going to speak for him, follow him when he says cut or take profit, but it's kind of, this is a really shit trend line, but it's kind of decision time. I would say he's wanting to see profit this week. Obviously he probably would see it last week, but he may even, I'm not going to speak for him, he may even roll the contract because he likes this setup so much. Again, I don't want to speak for him, but I can see something like this and him going, hey, the setup is still here, which means this support is clear as day. It's still holding. We're just in a big consolidation phase. And again, new traders, consolidation is just basically this. Oh, I didn't get this, sorry, but our bottoms are defined. Our tops are defined. This is a range clear as day. And we're just not getting the breakout. And so what he may do is he may sell these for a loss. Again, I'm not going to speak for him. And he say, hey, let's roll to, same strike price, 96. Let's get into February, March contracts and make some money on this. And so, because who knows how long he's going to want to hold for. It's basically, 2.5, 3 weeks till expiration. We want that breakout. But what if we just keep doing this all this week, all next week? At some point, you got to say, hey, sell for a loss or sell and roll contracts, put that remaining money into a new expiration. You guys can do that too if you don't want to wait on him. But as long as this holds here, as long as this 93 holds, it's for me, I'm not bearish other than maybe just catching tops on a day trade for this. But swings down here, no way. I want to be bullish bias on this. But again, we don't know. This could consolidate for 2 more weeks, or it could just break out tomorrow and we're going to forget everything we talked about tonight, but we just don't know. So very, very nice set for him. I think I can see what he's looking at. He just needs that breakout sooner than later. And, maybe it comes, maybe it doesn't. We shall see. Nice request, though. Always be winning. You're up. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. LW. I'm almost certain I do not have any lines on this. Let's get it. Swings on calls. All right. Ooh, got its butt whooped on some ER. Let's see where it's settling out. Let's see if it makes sense. Quick charting here, but held this zone for 3 days. Check the weekly. What's it holding? All-time lows, or is it bouncing? Let's go back 15 years. Ooh, look at that. Never delete your levels. What is this? COVID lows. Absolutely, it makes sense. It's stopping there. COVID lows. You think there might be some volume maybe still sitting there? Let's go back more. 2017 still makes sense. Obviously, it's the first time for me charting, but never delete lines on your chart, you guys. You get the point. I've said it like 5 times tonight. Yeah. Long dated calls, shares. I don't know what this company does. Always be winning, but this is the spot. Like I say, maybe it goes more. I don't know, but this is not a spot that I want to start getting bearish on. Seeing that move, seeing the sell down, seeing 1, 2, didn't get there 3, 4 days it holds, and our hourly 20s kind of curling. Yeah, like I said, if option liquidity is good, if you want to get, March, April, May, I don't know how long is to you, but some long dated swings, even just short term, like seeing something like this, that gives me confidence. Similar to Netflix, that gives me confidence. I move my, a high, a lower high, lower high, lower high, and then a breakout trend reversal. Take it with confidence. Again, as long as option liquidity is good for you on that. Very, very nice setup here. But yeah, share buys 41.68. I know it's quick charting. That's the spot to do it. Again, I don't know what the company does, but could very, very well pay nicely off that level there for sure. Pretty bad earnings, so we'll have to read the report on, a 30% haircut in a day. That's not good. So they must have said something on guidance or outlook. Don't want that. So, all right, I think I'm getting caught up. Yep, Discord name, same thing. Start with 1K for sure. Got cut up on that. Shoot, are we in on time? 2 minutes to spare. If you guys want to leave, you certainly can. I'm going to do a quick recap on SPY. Appreciate you guys being here. Good requests and sticking around. Quick recap. Here's the daily. It's messy. Not that I'm not going to say let's ignore it, but let's zoom in. Let's find that game plan again for tomorrow, for this week. 30-minute time frame. Yep, I'll do QQ as well for sure. So for me, you guys, first plan of action. Again, I'm watching this battle here from today, kind of that battle. Break under, failed breakouts, we get bearish. Break and hold, we get a little bit bullish on the day. We don't push up here, but we push up to next zone. So a hold tomorrow, I'm looking to be either, well, not looking, we never want to get chopped up. That was kind of stupid to say, but I'm looking to be bullish first and foremost. Get the bounce, maybe we get up to here again. Maybe we only push up 60 cents. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, 2 days before New Year's, volume could slow down. We could get a nice move and then chop, or we could trend all day. We don't know. But as long as kind of the 687, 687.19 pocket holds, I'm looking for bounce plays. Again, go down to a 5 or 15-minute chart. Lots of price targets in between here. We sell through this. Again, with caution, I see downside or bottom side wicks that are bouncing this afternoon. Yeah, you can take puts, but be careful because you might get bounced right away, or we might get that kill candle down into 686. Again, 686 is my bottom range for the week. I'm treating that until it's not. So meaning I'm playing, if I catch the sell down, I'm fully out here looking to play bounces. Fully out here looking to play bounces. I'm not holding puts until, or I'm not holding puts at all. I'm getting a new put entry until we break below and retest with a failed breakout over. QQQ, let's do it. Oh, look at that. Wish I would have been here for that on Friday. Looks like that was the easiest put opportunity possible. What was that? Oh, yeah. Look at that zone there. Rejection, sell down, rejection, 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 push up, rejection, breakout into the day, rejection, didn't get there, rejection. Wish I would have missed that. Where are we bouncing today? Does it make sense? Absolutely. Absolutely here. Zoomed in look, 30-minute chart. Again, this green dashed line is my daily 20 moving average. I mean, you count them if you want. Where are the buyers stepping in at? Clear as day. They got one 30-minute candle close below it. What they do? Immediately bought it back up. Do you think the daily 20 matters? And the start of this green zone, you better believe it. Where am I not bearish? Right here. I'm looking for a call bounce. Do I get stopped out? Maybe. Do I bounce? Hopefully. But I'm not bearish there. I'm not bearish heading into this zone. So meaning I don't take puts. Maybe it sells more, but I'm sidelined. I'm being patient. I'm looking for a call bounce or a sell through. Break retest that fails for continuation down for puts. But to me, this is a no zone for me to take puts down here when I see the price action like that. You know, we go to a 5-minute time frame. Yeah, maybe we could have made money on it. I mean, certainly people did, scalpers. But when I see those bounces like that, that worries me to like if I were to alert, you know, puts down there, just get bounced out immediately. Don't want that. But again, why does that level matter? That's the most important thing is we're coming back to, here's our bottoms. Here's our bottom. Kill candle, sell through it. What do we do the next day? Well, we're going to buy back over. No, you're not. Kick it back down. Battle it out. We push up, pre-market over. What do? We back test resistance, flip support, buyers defend it. Back test, support, buyers defend, move up. What do we do in present day? We are back testing support again. And what is it doing? As of now, it's holding. So again, this zone, I do not want people, you know, chasing short-dated puts. That's fine. Maybe we sell through it. Tell me I'm wrong. That's fine, but just not how I trade. I buy calls on the bottom best I can. Sometimes we're wrong. I buy puts at the top best I can. Sometimes you're wrong and it goes more. That's just life. But when I see a support zone like this, you know, you just kind of look for that bouncing ball. It's support. Maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't, but I need that sell through before I get bearish. And again, when we sell through it, I don't have a good recent example, but I would zoom and look something like that. Sell through it, retest, failure. Yeah, might have been late on that request. Sorry, but yeah, for a bearish day, Luis, like I said, two options here for you. Sorry, I'm not sure if I just mentioned it, but I either need, for me, how I trade, like I said, I like to trade the extremes. I try and find the tops and the bottoms best I can. Again, if we were to go to the 5-minute and you ask River, hey, should I take puts here? He could say, yeah, you take puts here, but he is candle to candle. I am I am a day trader. I trade the ranges. So I'm looking for this upper range here, bottom range zone here. So for me, puts under here, or a push up and a failure here. Maybe we get there, maybe we don't. We got these tops here from Friday as well. We got this candle here. Failure there. Sellers on the last hourly candle of the day. Do you think this is a tricky zone up here to chase calls? Absolutely. So we start pushing up here, start doing these double tops up here. Get your puts up here. Again, basically, it'd be this zone here, brother. A little bit wonky, but I'm going to grab this wick here. It's basically the start of this range here. Meaning, as long as I got time, you know, I can start a put entry here and hold till here. That's not reckless trading. You know, do you go all in here and then full port there on 0 TTs? Maybe not the best thing. Maybe it can sell through, you get lucky. Maybe it breaks out and your port is down 50%. You don't want to do that. But anywhere in here, I think is a good put entry because we're playing repeatable price action. Rejection, rejection, rejection. You know, never got there that day. But that's what you're playing is you're playing the bottom side of these wicks here that are still smacking it down. Break over, that's fine. Get bullish on the day. But if we kind of just trickle in here, Again, low volume can push it far and fast. I don't know. Or it can just kind of peter out here. Yeah. Get your puts there, take it down like Friday's, or excuse me, previous day, yesterday. I'm so off because it's a Monday scan. And you want repeatable price action like that or like that. And it's easy. When you get something like this, you go, oh, where do I sell? I don't know. Well, before you enter, you better have a trade plan, but you do something like this. You go, okay, I'm entering the same exact setup. I'm looking left. What did it do the previous day? Well, we rejected this. We kind of sold down here. We stopped here. Do you think this should be target one? Yeah. Because what do we do? We pushed up to it. And where do we kind of stall out? Same spot. Don't make trading hard, guys. So again, if we catch, I know I'm in the after hour session here, we catch our puts up to here. I don't alert QQQ puts or QQQ at all, but if I did, I'm not going to say target one's down here. I'm going to say, hey, target one is somewhere around this 621.2. Well, why is that? Look where we stopped. Look where we stopped. We sell through that. Okay. Next sell down. Where do we kind of stop at it? Where are we starting to see lots of topside wicks? Clear as day. You look left or as the day went on, where do we kind of stop? Same thing. Where do we push and stop? Same thing. Where do we sell to and kind of stop? Same thing, you guys. Just play, tight ranges are not fun, but ranges like this, if you can get in the day trade and scalping mindset, this is a blessing because the previous day or intraday price action tells you right in front of your face where you want to go. But the problem is you guys are greedy. Not all of you, but you cannot accept a loss when it presents itself. Everybody gets in, they go, I want to make money. Well, that doesn't always happen. And so you have to be prepared with a plan. So you get into puts here and it goes over, that's fine. Wait for a breakout retest. Maybe we take some calls, but that's my focus. That's what I do for QQQ. All right, guys, it's 6:06. I got to get some dinner. I got to let the dog out, or he's outside. Excuse me. I got to feed him as well. Send me a DM on CSIQ and I can check it. We can go over it for you, but I just don't want lecture to run super, super long. Just got back from vacation last night, so I got laundry, I got dinner, I got lots of stuff to do. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. I'm going to end the chat here, and you guys have a great night. Catch you tomorrow.